President Joe Biden praised U.S. diplomacy behind Friday's release of 24 hostages held by Hamas fighters.
Today has been a product of a lot of hard work and weeks of personal engagement. From the moment Hamas kidnapped these people, I, along with my team, have worked around the clock to secure their release.
Biden also said it was the start of what he expected would be further hostage releases by the Palestinian militant group in the coming days.
Over the next few days, we expect that dozens of hostages will be returned to their families. We also remember all those who are still being held and renew our commitment to work for their release as well.
Hamas fighters released 24 hostages on Friday during the first day of the war's truce, including 13 Israeli women and children, 10 Thai farm workers, and a Filipino, after guns fell silent across the Gaza Strip for the first time in 7 weeks. Ireland's Prime Minister on Friday condemned anti-immigration protesters who rampaged through central Dublin after 3 young children were stabbed, saying the rioters simply wanted to cause chaos, not protect the country's way of life. Police arrested 34 people overnight after up to 500 people looted shops, set fire to vehicles, and threw rocks at crowd control officers. The violence began after rumors circulated that a foreign national was responsible for the attack outside a Dublin school on Thursday afternoon. Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said Ireland's capital had endured 2 attacks, one on innocent children and the other on, quote, our society and rule of law. Rescue teams trying to reach 41 construction workers trapped in a collapsed tunnel in northern India for nearly 2 weeks have stopped drilling again. Their boring machine hit a new metal obstruction in rock debris, further delaying efforts. A disaster management officer says the rescuers could take several hours to cut the metal object and resume the final phase of digging at the accident site in the Uttarakhand state. For additional stories, 24 hours a day, visit voanews.com. This is VOA News. The victims of a fiery crash at a U.S.-Canada border crossing have been identified. The AP's Jennifer King reports.
The Niagara Falls Police Department says 53-year-olds Kurt and Monica Villani of the Buffalo suburb of Grand Island, New York, were in the vehicle that crashed into a border checkpoint in Niagara Falls, leading to border closures in New York on the day before Thanksgiving. The Erie County Sheriff's Office released a statement from the husband and wife's family, extending gratitude for the condolences they've received and asking for privacy. Records show the family owns a lumber business and several Ace Hardware stores in western New York. Still unknown details on what exactly led to Wednesday's crash at the Rainbow Bridge. The Villani's car raced through an intersection at a high rate of speed, hit a low median, and was launched through the air before slamming into a row of security booths and bursting into flames. The FBI's Buffalo office turned the case back over to local police and said it found no signs the incident was a terror attack. I'm Jennifer King.
Russian officials say Ukraine has launched one of its biggest drone attacks on the Moscow-annexed Crimean Peninsula since the full-scale war began. They did not say if there were any casualties. The Moscow-appointed governor of the Russian-occupied part of southern Ukraine's Kherson region said Ukraine launched a major drone attack early Friday. He claims dozens of drones were shot down over the province of the northern part of Crimea. At the same time, Ukrainian officials reported that the Kremlin's forces have escalated their attempt to storm Avdiivka, a strategically important city in eastern Ukraine. Novo Nordisk announced a $2.3 billion investment to boost production of its widely popular weight loss and diabetes drugs in France as it races to meet soaring demand. Reuters correspondent Julian Satterwhite reports.
Novo Nordisk is racing to ramp up output of its in-demand weight loss drugs. The Danish firm on Thursday unveiled new investment in production capacity in Chartres, near Paris. French President Emmanuel Macron was on hand to inspect the facility. His office says he persuaded the firm to invest there at his Choose France summit earlier in the year. But it's a boost for the French leader, who has seen a global slowdown undo progress on cutting joblessness.
Julian Satterwhite from Reuters. 2 more women have come forward to accuse Sean Diddy Combs of sexually assaulting them in the early 1990s. In one of the suits, a woman said Combs sexually assaulted her after plying her with drugs, then filmed the abuse without her knowledge. In a second suit, an unnamed woman said the producer and a friend took turns raping her and a friend during an after-party. The lawsuits were filed hours before the expiration of a New York law that gives victims of sexual abuse a 1-year window to file civil action regardless of the statute of limitations. In an emailed statement, a spokesperson for Combs denied the allegations.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.